going to like Trump's already writing in Truth Social tweets and stuff today that and he's talking about Israel or Iran rather, that the skies in Iran are, we have good skies, everything's clear. He's talking as if we are already siding with Israel and we are about to fight. He's sending, I think someone said in here 30 minutes ago, they're sending planes over to the Middle East. These are our plans, U.S. plans. We are already in this war. We are already in this development. For El Normo, for people to come up on this fucking app, excuse my language, and try to say that what happened didn't happen for 20 months, that kids weren't bombed, that, kids weren't starved, that there was no, I think it's kind of weird when we hear this because we think about all the times we turned on our phones and there was aid coming through, but then it blew up. And then there was cans that came through, but then they were actually weapons. And people just, it was terrible. So this whole thing with, Israel, trying to make Israel sound like somehow like, oh, we're just defending itself. It's no, you're systematically oppressing and genociding a group of people. That's number one. And then number two is the fact that we are now getting to a place where we're getting cozy. We're starting to watch our presidents of the United States talk about how he just threatened an assassination on the president of Iranian leadership. Now that just happened. He said we're not gonna assassinate them today. This is in a Truth Social post. For all the people on this app who thought that Trump was a masterstroke negotiator, where the fuck are you looking at right now? This dude is tweeting from Truth Social as he's quote unquote negotiating. It's fucking depressing.
There's only two options here. So either it's as dark as you're mentioning, and he has a thirst for war, hasn't done that before, and wants to flex those muscles, or this is his negotiation tactic. It's one of those.
But CEO, and this is a good faith question. How is a negotiator leaving G7, going back because he's like, oh, I have some shit to deal with so I guess I can't really meet with you. He's just embarrassed to be at G7, so that turns him to G6. He's talking on an international stage saying, Trump or Putin should really be here, to G7 and Ukrainian, you had Vladimir Zelensky who's coming up there. He can't even bother to meet with this guy. It is only the U.S. that looks weak right now. It is fucking insane. Like, I'm not even trying to paint like a bleak picture. I'm just saying, like, this is crazy.
Yeah, either you're right, or he is doing everything to scare Iran to the negotiation table. It's one of those two things.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's fair. I think the regime change aspect is really interesting when you start to hear a no-war president, right, start to go like, I don't know, man. I can't imagine just going to G7 and then being like, oh, I got to go back home and start a war. And here's the thing: Israel, we watched what happened for 20 months. I just can't hear any more of El Normo's like, God help us, Israel's doing good. Like, I can't hear any more of that bullshit when we've watched them systematically genocide a fucking place. And then you have Iran, which I don't. Anyway, I'll
I see you, Water. I'm trying to get in here too. Yeah, I'll be quick, man. It's 2 a.m. here. I've been spending the last 3 days engaging with lifelong peace activists. I've been running around with Cold Pink and learning about them. These people that have dedicated their lives, these women that are in their 70s and 80s-year-old, peace activists. And what I heard in this room was pretty much a general consensus of Americans that don't want war. They do not want to participate in this war. So if we have a consensus, and this is the will of the public, and we know that even MAGA is divided, they don't want war. Yet time and time again, these wars happen. Like, what can we do? What realistically can we do? If we live in the world's most powerful nation, you say it's a democracy, it's supposed to represent the will of the people, but it's very clear that the will of the people is not being represented. This is a good faith question.
I have an answer.
Engages in this.
I have an answer. Hold on, 1 second. Wait, just give me 30 seconds. So the Senate may actually get close to the 2/3 override on the veto. So that is what you can do about it. Get the Senate, get 67 senators to override Trump's veto around restricting him on Iran, because both houses of Congress right now are trying to pass legislation that would restrict him from doing anything with Iran, and he could veto that, but 67 votes in the Senate overrides it.
And when does this happen?
This is happening now. They're trying to get this bill done now.
Yeah, they have, 25 members of Congress sign on to bills against Trump's sedition to go to war with Iran. This is right now. House War Powers resolution. You've got Republicans signing on to this. Like, when you wake up in the morning and you see MAGA loyalists like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Kristi Noem, not Kristi Noem. Everyone in MAGA is like factioning off right now, and it just comes down to: do you want war or do you not? Like, are you gonna pretend that this president didn't say that he didn't run on, hey, we're not going to have war, or was that only until Israel gets itself into a pit,
Yeah, I mean, just to back you, sorry, I don't know who I thought about, sorry, but with John Bolton was always Iran, regime change in Iran, that was one of the reasons Trump kicked him out. It was like, no, he's a warmonger. Now Trump is going to do exactly what he wanted, what he fought John Bolton for. But again, Swifty is in my DMs. I'm just going to put it out there now. He's in my DM asking me why I talk so long. He probably wants to get me into a verbal argument. I'm not going to argue with him. And I'm not going to block him now. But if he keeps sending me messages, I'll have to block him. So if I'm on stage and he can't get in, I'm not going to unblock him. I'm just putting it out there right now.
So why you guys want to ignore the International Atomic Energy Commission report of June 9th, finding Iran in breach of the nuclear agreements, and that it's escalating the enrichment of uranium? Those are quotes to weapons grade. I don't know why you would ignore it. I think you're in denial. Hang on. I'll make a couple points and then you can go. I'll make a couple. Hang on. I'll make a couple points and then you go. Wait a second. Hang on. I'm in the middle of a sentence. Don't be so threatening to you guys. We can talk about it. That's right. Okay. Hang on. So why you want to ignore the Atomic Energy Commission? Hang on. Okay, I want to talk about that. Let's talk about it. I'm going to answer your question. Go in order.
No,
why you want to ignore the report? Okay, now mute up. No. Why do you want to? I want to talk about it. If you shut up, I'll answer your question.
When are you going to delete that?
Shut up, I'll answer your question.
Delete the app.
If you shut up, I'll answer your question.
My uncle.
If you shut up, you answer, and I'll answer.
No.
Number one.
We don't need you speaking on this stage anymore.
Okay, that's fine. So why you watch Hollywood? Why you watch videos from Hamas, an organization that wants to wipe out the Jews, and then you use it as evidence? This is your problem. Stop interrupting. Thank you very much. Okay. Stop interrupting. Thank you very much. Okay. If you're going to repeat propaganda.
Stop, normal. Stop speaking. Okay, we've all seen the reports. We've all seen news from reputable news sources. Okay, like, just stop the shit.
But he was the one that was talking. They didn't allow him to finish.
No, you know why, First Lady? Because he lies. This person is straight up saying that
on the stage when it comes to Israel.
It's never in good faith with him. He is straight up saying that Israel wasn't starving Palestinians. What the fuck? And so everything he says, comes down to this ladder of non-truths. Because when you start to say, and then someone calls your bluff, and you go, I did say that I was gonna, you be a man and leave the fucking room.
And prevents honest
Well, why are you telling him to move and then they leave the room? He can.
The man
he has
said he was
right.
gonna
because he said
He
if
told
there's
Dark.
no evidence of children starving, if there's evidence of children starving, I'll leave the room.
Oh.
He said he'll leave the app, I think.
No,
yeah, he said he's gonna leave the app.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's what he told Dark Aaron.
So much shit.
That's what he said. That's why everybody's like, why are
So
you
I
still
still
on that?
put evidence. Yeah.
Hey, my thing is like
That didn't go so well.
my thing is like, yo, Norm, it's like you want us to fight y'all battle. Sorry, that's y'all battle. Like, why are you gonna ignore this and that? That's y'all business. Y'all figure it out. Respect.
That's
Like,
absolutely.
it's like y'all figure it out. We're not y'all. We're the U.S. Army, not the IDF. So the moral thing of the thing is, you fight for the wrong. Fight your own battles. I'm sorry. Our nephews and cousins and
Norm, I can't bring you up.
and everybody else.
Used all my passes on you, Norm. I'm sorry.
And everybody else, we're
I
not
keep
about to
trying,
sit.
but it won't let me.
We're not about to sit here and risk our lives for your bullshit. Now, something else happened in the U.S. and shit like that, we'll kick their ass. But we're not kicking someone else's ass because you decide to go put your hand in somebody else's business.
Tony, the only ass that
I need to clarify this. Wait a minute, Nathan. I'm gonna pass it right to you. Norm, I can't bring you up. They only give me 2 chances. So once you've exhausted that, I can't
brought
bring
him
you
up.
up. I can't. Oh, okay. I was
Okay,
gonna say.
I didn't exhaust it. I was interrupted and sent down.
No, I said no. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that the app, once somebody gets sent down twice and they send a request to come up, it won't let.
Then
me.
another mod has to bring.
There's no more access on the elevator. Your pod, when you scan your pod, it doesn't let you go to the next floor.
Then
No more access. Yeah.
Then another mod can bring me up.
Yep.
So number one,
Theoretically.
I told you what the report is of the International Atomic Energy Commission from June 9th. That Iran is escalating to nuclear grade, that they're in breach of the agreement, and they want the Security Council to deal with it. It's a 94-page report. This is a fact. It's not a lie. Now, we also talked about starvation, and I said, show me one child that has starved to death. Show me. Don't tell me something that Hamas says. Don't tell me something that Hamas says and then the UN repeats it. Show me the child. Israel calculated how much food there was there in the warehouses and is distributing it as we speak in coordination with the United States. Tons and tons and tons and tons of food. Israel also said that Hamas has been stealing the food, so we're going to distribute it another way because they steal the food and then sell it back to their people, and that's how they fund themselves. That's what Israel is doing.
Wait, so where are they getting
Finally,
Okay.
It's not a lie.
We have to stop. We have to move on from this subject because
One at a time.
it's like.
Women, just let him finish, son. Just let him
Yeah,
finish.
He keeps lying. He's lying
I didn't tell a
for
lie.
an hour.
Yeah.
If you want to look at a fact, I'll look at it with you.
Okay.
Finally,
so let's,
and it's
no,
100%.
Hang on,
Final point before you interrupt.
It's your terms that
Final point before you interrupt. Final point, and then you can go. Final point before you interrupt.
You already landed.
100. Excuse me.
What?
100%.
Reminded by the food.
100. Wait, I'll take your question after I make my final point. 100%. Israel has defined for the world, the Jewish people created the word genocide. It was coined by Raphael Lemkin, a Polish Jewish lawyer. We know very well what genocide is because
We
it was
don't
done
need
to
to
us.
know
That's
that,
why
Mark.
we invented
Where's
the.
the money
Stop
coming
interrupting. Stop interrupting. We know very well what genocide is. It is the intent and the action to destroy a people in whole or in part. Never have we expressed that intent, nor will we ever express such an intent, nor will we ever act to destroy in whole or in part a people. The definition of genocide, again, we invented the word, we know what it is.
You can't
If you don't
speak
look
for
at
the audio.
videos,
You're not
excuse
in
me.
the government.
Nathan, he's almost
Excuse
at
me.
15 seconds.
Excuse me.
Bro.
And for you to look at a bunch of fake TikTok videos and YouTube videos, we saw it. This is bullshit. You're being brainwashed by Hamas, who want to destroy you and me. And I'll mute up there. You tell me one lie that I have just told, and I'll go over it with you.
So my question is, why won't Israel or the IDF allow independent journalists to go in and see for themselves? Because if
In fact,
everything
it
was
does.
saying, let me finish.
let me finish.
Oh, I thought that was
If everything that you're saying, please, if everything that you're saying is correct, why won't they allow independent, reputable broadcast news agencies to go in and see for themselves? That's the first
They
thing.
did.
Let me finish.
Stop,
Let me
normal.
finish. That's the
Yo.
first thing. And the second thing is, why are people being shot at as they go to get the food?
Okay, so number one, not only did they let an independent journalist in, Douglas Murray, he wrote a book about it. It's called Democracies and Death Cults. It just came out. I urge you to read the book by the independent journalist Douglas Murray. Number two, they don't shoot at people trying to get food. What happens is there are mass riots over there because people are trying to grab the food, including Hamas gangs, and steal it, so they fire over their heads. In fact, Hamas has been shooting people trying to get the food because Hamas wants to steal the food and sell it back to their own people. These are all facts that have been established. I'm not just making this up.
So to you, Corey, about the book that's been written, I would say that a daily occurrence. Therefore, we need regular and updated information as it is happening, not because the book was written X months, weeks, or whatever ago. We need current information. Therefore, news agencies should be allowed to go in and see what is happening on the ground every day. That's the first thing. And then I dispute, or many people dispute, what you've just said about how those people are being shot at when they go to get their food.
Based on what evidence would you dispute it? I mean, I'm looking at all the reports. What's the evidence?
The only looking at your propaganda from the country is it's such a bullshit take, Norm. Like when you come
What's
on
the
here,
bullshit
you're talking
take?
about
You don't want to look at it.
the way that you were saying that this, like the things that are happening aren't
Give
happening.
me an example.
Hold
Give
on,
me an
I'm not
example.
done. Shut the fuck up. You're talking about the fact that we are being brainwashed by Hamas, and
That's correct.
and we're talking about Western media and Eastern media both agreeing and confirming the things that you are actively trying to lie
Give me an
about.
example that you think I'm lying. I'm not lying, by the way, but give me an example.
So let's just go back to 57 Palestinians. Someone have put this in the chat for you, Norm. You probably want more, but let's just give this to you right now.
No, you probably want more Jews to die, but let's focus on the issue.
Oh, I'm anti-Semitic because I don't want
So let's
war.
focus on the issue. Let's focus on the issue.
Yeah, please, because I don't want us to go
So
to
what was
this
the source?
anti-Semitic.
What was the source?
So Al Jazeera says at least 57 Palestinians starved to death under Israel's blockade to Gaza.
So, and what is
why
their
don't you-
source?
Oh,
Tell us.
No. So how about, here's the thing. This is why no one respects you, Norm, because you breathe.
Many people respect
I'm trying to talk to you, and you're breathing over me, and you're
I'm
trying to
sorry.
talk, but it doesn't make you fucking
It's
right.
an audio
Okay?
app. It doesn't make you right.
Okay,
What
no,
the-
it
what
doesn't make you the
I told
fucking.
Authentic to be quiet.
Yo, if Norm gets kicked, I kicked him. I'm letting y'all know because my finger is getting close to the button. If you get kicked, Norm, I kicked you. You are out of fucking control for a long time already. You think this is a fucking Norm room. Go open up a fucking room. You hold the green bean and you let everybody else yell at you and you yell at them. And you control the fucking mics. Like, come on.
Go ahead, Authentic.
So I just want to make this make this clear, right? Even if what Norm is saying is somehow true, that Iran is this, Iran is that, it doesn't negate from the fact that Israel for 20 months has been systematically genociding a group of people. So it doesn't matter if Norm goes, I, the oppressed, or I understand the word, I understand, what is it, genocide, and I understand, and these words have meaning because this is what this is, but then, because my people, and wants to talk about, Jewish descent or in Israel or anything like that, but failing to conflate that, and also failing to recognize that for 20 months, they did exactly what they were. You can't be oppressed and be the oppressor at the same time and try to be victim here. And I think that comes off as very, very disingenuous, especially when people are sending you articles and sending him articles about people, Gaza being starved. And then for all of us to be sitting here talking about the state of affairs right now and to be told that we are, indoctrinated by Hamas is, excuse my French, it's fucking dumb.
Why is it dumb?
Because you have no evidence. Let's go walk around.
Because the visual, I'll tell you, the visual doesn't appear to be the truth based off of what people can see. No, people are also viewing this with their own eyes and witnessing it.
You're looking at a few YouTube videos. This is not.
No, I'm not looking at. I don't watch. Listen, sir, I don't go to YouTube. I don't do the TikTok.
What's your source?
Unless I'm the star in the show, I don't watch.
What's your source then? Tell me. What's the source?
I'm watching Fox. I watch CNN. Okay. I watch C-SPAN.
What started? Pick one of those and tell me what you saw. Let's talk.
I don't want to be involved in the conversation. I'm just telling you.
That's part of the conversation. Norm, you said Israel has already lost.
Everybody's
food. Yeah, they already lost. Norm. You have to admit.
And making people pay for it.
I think.
Where are they getting the money from, Norm?
Beg your pardon?
Where are they getting the money from?
Who?
The people that are paying Hamas.
On the food.
You mean the people of
Gaza?
Gaza?
Hamas is selling the food back to its people.
Yes.
Arthur is asking, where are the people getting the money to pay to Hamas for food?
They're spending their own money.
What money?
Gotten, both from. This is such a weird question. Do you know that the UNRWA has poured millions of dollars into billions into Gaza? They've been receiving aid for 20 years. Yes, the money that they got for humanitarian aid in cash, and the money that they were. Listen, I'm answering your question. 20,000. Let me answer your question.
No, you're not. You're not explaining that.
Let me talk. And I'll answer your question.
I don't jive, Norm, because where are they sending it to? Ain't nobody got mailboxes.
And how many?
I got credit cards over there.
Absolutely.
Can we just
the correct answer?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm using improper
Let me give you the answer.
Right, but you're saying that they have money. That is insane. No one has money right now.
They're on the app. You can talk to people in Gaza on the app. I was there 2 weeks ago. People have money.
How are they giving this cash? Stop.
Let me answer your question.
Stop. How are they giving this cash? You said that we have given them. You said we have given them millions of dollars of humanitarian aid in cash.
Yes, that's right.
How are they giving them their cash?
They give it by hand.
By hand. So there is an announcement. Hold on. So there is an announcement in Gaza. People running up on the street and they're giving dollars.
Okay, when you're done, I'll answer. I'm happy to answer when you're done. I'm happy to answer. Are you done?
No, I don't want your answer. You already answered. I did not ask you. You already answered, Norm. I don't need your answer. You already answered. Your answer is they're giving out on the streets in cash. Your answer. I got it.
Okay, so 20,000.
No, I don't want
Well,
you already answered.
I
don't know. I am not done. You already answered it. Norm, stop it.
You interrupted.
Yeah, I can hear you, Scott.
Nobody wants to fucking hear from you.
Y'all,
they're
paying
with the EBT card. Come on.
I can hear you.
Allow me to finish.
Can we have
This is exhausting. I'm exhausted. Okay, so let's just take a little commercial break. I need everybody to do me a favor. On the count of 3, we're going to breathe in.
Have you taken the deepest breath of the day yet, Scott?
We're going to release. All right.
You know how many calories I burned today, buddy?
3. Breathe in.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. How many calories?
Let it out.
I'm about to go to the gym right
You
now.
want to do it again? Let's do it again. Okay. 1, 2.
What are those mini blinds?
Breathe in.
What are all those things behind you?
This is a little studio setup.
Oh, those are muters. I see. Cool.
Yeah, it's
Exhale. Great. Now, where are we going with this conversation? What's going on? Is Trump telling them that we're going to get the fighting? What's happening right now? What's happening on the front line? I don't know. I have not turned on the news. So you guys are the news reporters.
There's a lot of people on here chirping like birds. They don't even know what's
Do
happening.
we have anything on the front line right now? What's breaking?
First lady, I'm sure half the room did not do that breathing exercise, but let me stay on mute.
Well, guess what? It felt good to me, and I feel a sense of calmness has come over this stage right now. So, regardless whether they practiced it, they kind of just took their nerves down just a little bit. Okay. Is there any news to report or no news?
I think
Gonna be okay.
I think
Yeah.
what might be happening that's not being reported is that the situation with Iran and Russia. Russia's been. I'm just looking at news. Russia.
You want to do
Iranian drones, Iranian made drones.
You want to do a Torah study?
No, I want to do a John study.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead the John study.
Gospel of John, my congressman.
That's what I'm gonna do for you.
Congressman Johnny.
You think anybody else is gonna want to join the live?
I don't know.
No.
But I bought this mic just for the lives. But
A factory to produce drones on Russian territory. I think they were in the middle of constructing a second factory.
Audio quality's not that
So, yeah, Russia is already producing those drones and doing alternations. They're producing it on their own land. They have factories already.
That's right. I just got a report that Israel took out the Isfahan nuclear site. That's another nuclear development facility. Also, I hear that Iran is begging for a ceasefire and that the Supreme Leader...
Can we take a break from Norm, please?
The Supreme Leader is seeking asylum in Russia. You want this?
Whoa!
Yeah, and Bibi apparently isn't in Israel right now.
Who cares?
He has always been in Israel. He's in
Y'all work your own shit out. Y'all work your own problems out. Stop trying to drag us in it.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, that's a cut.
Can I just read the chat and listen?
No, can I just say what I gotta say? Okay,
I'm sorry.
Work your own shit out. But stop trying to drag us into every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Work it out. If you got them, get them. Do what you need to do. I don't know why you're in here giving me no fucking update because I can care fucking less. You know what I'm saying? Because them kids over there are starving. You ain't giving no fucking updates about how many hamburgers being held out. So I don't want to hear it. Until them kids are taken care of over there and they don't look like skeletons walking, I could give a fuck. And if I've already told my Congress people, if you send another motherfucking dime, they'll check it with me first. If you can't feed children, no, I'm just sick and tired of it. Have no kind of empathy for these fucking people who are dying
in the hospital.
Yes, looking like skeletons. Shut up. Just because his stomach is not all the way to his back, he don't know what it feels like to be hungry and be scared and scraping your food off the cement to try to make some shit. Fuck you too, water. That's what I feel about it. So if you want to say something,
I'm on your side.
Directly.
No, I'm on
I
your
thought
side.
that deal was for me because I was about to say, you want to say something to me, come for me. Just ridiculous. Every time you see these kids, we always talk about kids. I get so sick and tired of these fake ass niggas talking about kids. Kids are starving everywhere, and it's only for your enrichment here and there. I get sick of it.
I did want to just say, this was on the 12th, this was tweeted, our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. This is not good. So looks like DHS reverse course and ICE raids at farms, hotels, restaurants.
He did the double reverse draw 2, draw 4,
and now he's
he's resuming. He dropped the double reverse. Yeah.
Oh my God!
He's resuming.
I can't with the double reverse.
So First Lady, there was sheriff and police officers in Texas that were basically explaining to their workers
and I didn't check and to see if they're legal or illegal, but they were in the farm. There's several videos of it. I can put it in the chat. And they were basically explaining to the workers in Spanish, they had an officer translating it, that the police and the sheriff in Texas are there to protect them, and that they should know their rights, and that ICE cannot step a foot onto that farm. And if ICE does come into the farm to basically call them, and they're going to protect them, because ICE can't do that. It's a private property. It's somebody's personal farm.
Well, I didn't say this to get off course. We can still continue to talk about the Israel and Iran thing, but I'm just saying, this flip-flop back and forth, it's not good, guys. It really isn't. And whoever is voting for this crap or rooting this on, you just as crazy as the situation that's happening right now. Because you got 1 minute he's telling Iran, I told him not to do this. The next minute, oh, you better back down. Oh, the next minute, yeah, we're going to have a conversation. Oh, the next minute, oh, you know what? You should go ahead and surrender. I can't keep up. Now we got, we're going to cut out this, we're going to hold off on the raids. Now they're resuming to 3,000 daily arrest quota. I need you all to just press the brakes for a minute and put your car in park. And take a deep breath. It's so much going on right now. Who wants to see this kind of destruction and people's lives being upset like this? What do you get out of that? I just want you to ask yourself, what are you really getting out of this? And all this fear that's wrapped up in people's brains and in their mind, oh, they're coming to kill me, so because they're coming to kill me, I got to kill you first mentality. So we wipe everybody out, and then who's left? I don't think you guys are taking the time to think this thing through. And you're causing this beast to continuously grow. I need y'all to stop. Just stop and think for a minute. Good God Almighty.
First Lady, what's interesting? Sorry, my nose sounds crazy because I went through surgery a couple days ago. This morning I woke up, right? And important MAGA loyalists were saying some pretty normal things to me. And that was interesting, right? So you have like Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Tulsi Gabbard saying some things, kind of like walking away from. Yeah, Steve Bannon. You have people walking away from Trump to be like, wait. Like, there's actually a fractioning of people in MAGA who are actually, I think that's probably the silver lining, is them being like, oh, this is crazy. Like, we truly don't have a leader. Like, this guy, he, as much as, a masterclass negotiator as he wanted to say that he was, he's tweeting from Truth Social. It's weak. It's weak.
Well, we knew that in 2016, but they didn't know. So thank God their eyes are just opening. Like what? How many years later? Yeah.
It's just so wild to me. But like, it's wild that Spain has the courage to be like, we need an embargo against Israel, right? And the U.S. right now, before Trump got back, before Trump gets back to America, they had to make legislation so that he doesn't go to war with Iran.
I mean, please, I don't want to go to war with Iran. I don't want my child to be drafted to go to war with Iran.
Nobody does. And that's the thing. It's such a losing. Like, no one wants war, right? But when your approval rating is low, when you're creating phones that look like gold bars, when you are not even able to look at Macron and look at world leaders in the face because you know that they know that you're cowards. What else do you have to lose? And that's where we are.
El Normo apparently wants a war with Iran, so yeah.
Well, El Normo wants to feel safe. That's his thing. El Normo wants to feel safe and feeling like Israel's actions are justifiable after everything that we saw for 20 months. That's what El Normo wants, and that narrative is kind of what started speaking up on this app, because I've heard that so many times, and a lot of people, especially El Normo, will go, "Hey, that's anti-Semitic," but being anti-war is not anti-Semitic. And in fact, when I was no war, my no war position was no war, period. But the thing is if I said, "Hey, these Palestinian children look like they're getting fucked with," and then someone says, "Oh, you're a Hamas sympathizer," I don't have any sympathy for that side. Like it's not an it's not this anti-Semitic thing to not want war, right? So I just need to throw that sentiment out there.
I think James Baldwin, who originally was an ally with, he wrote a lot of books with about Black and Jewish relationships, especially in the United States. When he was invited into Israel, he saw a different kind of Israel. And when he left, he wrote, "I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm anti-Zionist."
Well, let me tell you something. You guys not going to pull me down no rabbit hole talking about I'm anti-this and I'm anti-Semitic. They can go and put their middle finger up their anus, because we're here talking about children. And if talking about the welfare of children makes me this, make me that, so you can prove a point, I know who you are and you know who I'm talking to. You can put your middle finger up your rectum. Nobody in here is anti-anything. It's about the children. Period. People are starving. There's no reason for them to be. Is there a reason? Is there a reason? Is there a reason for these people to be starving at this point? Anybody?
No.
And
There's more than food.
To use food as a weapon is highly disgusting.
Yeah. Deplorable.
Yeah,
not only are they using. Sorry,
have you seen a split screen? No, you don't have to call me Miss Lisa. Lisa's fine.
Sorry.
If you see, and it's not even my real name, but if you see a split screen of what's going on, they can live their lives across the way over there, and what's going on in Gaza is enough to make you want to vomit. Okay, it doesn't make sense for people in this day and age to be over there, stomach to their spine, starving. So not on Ozempic and Mounjaro, they're just starving to death. It makes no sense.
When he says it's 100% on Hamas, like, first of all, abnormal is abnormal. I don't know. Honestly, I've spoken to him billions of times on this app, and I don't know if he's going through some kind of crisis that he thinks he's like a young buck, a spring chicken, and he can go and fight. But sir, sit several seats down. Just stop. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be, if God forbid, if we enter this war, and I hope we do not, it's going to be our young children, the young youth that's going to enter this war.
Right.
And I don't want my son, who's about to be 17, to enter this war. I'm sorry.
Hell no.
We don't want the people who are already enlisted. People in here have people who are enlisted right now, who are sitting on these ships.
Absolutely.
They're just as much danger. And this knucklehead Haiti says if they return y'all ain't looking for the hostages. You're too busy starting wars other places. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Right.
It has nothing to do with feeding people either. So it has nothing to do with that. So they can't eat, they can't have water, they can't do nothing until they give your hostages back. But first of all, the little kids don't have your fucking hostages, you motherfucking piece of shit. They don't have them. So go feed your children. And then come back with this bullshit.
Sorry. Also, how much do they care about the hostages? If you're starving the children and the women in the Gaza Strip, obviously your hostages are starving too. Think about that. I'm just that's
you
just
gotta, you gotta pay attention to who you're talking to. A lot of these people like Norm, who he mentioned that he goes back and forth to Israel, he probably served in IDF and probably killed some innocent people. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably killed these kids and blew up. We pulled the trigger. So you gotta be careful who you're talking to.
That is a fair
Like,
question.
you have to do follow-up questions. Who are you? Have you served in the military, in IDF? I think Norman just said in chat he did, probably, right? So he probably, so no wonder he doesn't give a fuck, because he's a person that's doing it actively.
And over there, they have to serve.
Yeah. Exactly. So mandatory for every person.
And a reminder to the room.
People like Norm who actually promote the reasons why there is anti-Semitism. It is people like him who actually makes Jews like myself less safe globally. Him and people like him. We have seen them on the stage. We've seen them on this app. They do not care about the wanton death. They don't. And so the anti-Semitism that he claims to want to run away from or combat actually just comes from himself.
Yeah, but the thing is, I keep asking myself, why do you have to make it so difficult for, like, even people who want to have sympathy for Israel and the rest of them? Why do you have to make it so difficult for everybody? We've listened to him. This is not the first room I'm listening to him. Why do you have to make it so difficult? I still don't get it. I just don't.
Just for posterity, Norm wants to see a video of a child dying, so that way he could delete this app, because he doesn't believe that that's true. And number one, I call bullshit. And number two, when you constantly hear this whole thing about Israel defending itself, when you attack Iran because of it was a preemptive strike, right? Preemptive military strike. If America were to do that, we would call the bluff right away and be like, yo, are we doing this again? So, all of this stuff about, like the kids, show me the kids, and this take it's super weak, because when you're listening to it, you realize that it's not about the hostages. If it was about the hostages, we would see, the fact that Israel targeted a precision strike on Iran and got their building precisely striked to, their media, their state-sponsored media. It's interesting that they wouldn't be able to precisionally carry out and exercise a routine to get their own hostages out. But he's acting like that's a world in which this can't happen. As smart as the Israeli IDF is, somehow that can't happen.
How effective the Iron Dome is.
Can I just go next for a second? I feel that hypocrisy is that when Russia decided to do, and mind you, I'm just looking at the hypocrisy. When Russia said we're doing a preemptive strike, oh my God, NATO, come on, sanction him, Russia and stuff like that. But when Israel does it, we need to back up Israel. Some Zio literally said that Bibi Netanyahu is giving is the light of the world. What? You literally have NATO against Russia, right? Sanction Russia because Russia felt that, and that's what Russia feels. I don't agree with Russia and what they're doing to Ukraine. Ukraine is a sovereign country, has a right to be a sovereign country. But if you're doing this to Russia, who struck first, right? Why are you not doing the same thing to Israel, who struck first?
Exactly.
Can I go next?
Hypocrisy.
Where's Trent saying in the chat, y'all?
Can I please just go next?
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, who was
so
that?
That's me, Pharaoh. And for those who are asking about videos, you could just go to Instagram. There is a page called i.on.palestine. Keep scrolling there, you'll see a lot of kids dying. So it's just insane that we have to prove this after thousands of people dying. Another thing, just quickly, I want to say this is the month of June. 10 days ago, it was the memory of the USS Liberty. It was an American Navy ship in the Mediterranean Sea that was attacked by the IDF. 34 American soldiers died, 171 were injured. And
please Google it and read the details are horrific. And for some reason, like the people were not talking about it much, but I don't get it. Why is Israel doing this to US? And the main thing that I don't get as well is why would anyone believe Benjamin Netanyahu, who's been lying about this weapon of mass destruction since like 15 years? He dragged US to fight Iraq, and what happened? Million Iraqi died, thousands of Americans died, and post-traumatic PTSD. And he's doing that again monthly. This guy is super evil, and he would keep fighting everyone and anyone because he knows the minute the war is over, he's going to jail. And it's so insane that the world is letting someone like this control the lives of millions of people and dragging countries, and no one can stop him. This is insane. So please remember, I on Palestine on Instagram and Google USS Liberty. Thank you.
I just shared it, Fedo. I just shared an Instagram of I on Palestine, which is a pretty good one. And I think it's important to just say like that, this whole thing is just the U.S. trying to figure out right now if we're about to get into a war with Israel and Iran. And the fact that you're seeing people, especially like if you see El Normo freaking out and stuff like that, you already know like shit's about to go off. We're not trying to be a part of that. We don't claim that. That's not our energy. When it comes to, someone posted a really good question, like when it comes to Russia and being like, well, wait, where's that's interesting. Where's it's like a double negative. Like things for Israel go according, they can do whatever they want, but then Russia does the same shit and we have all this heat for them. Well, that makes sense.
And these can get, Iran has friends. Let's not forget, this thing can go into a full-blown war. North Korea is saying they might give Iran a nuclear bomb. Russia's backing Iran. China has something to say about Iran. This thing can spiral out of control real quick. It's not a good move.
Yeah, when you start to see MAGA loyalists starting to question if they have the right president, that definitely shows you that something's working. Right? Like, hopefully the message gets past to Trump that we're not going to be in this war.
At what expense? From what Trent is saying, it's too late. What Trent posted in the chat is already, in motion right now. And things are moving around. So,
I'm gonna put this article in. This is from the BBC. And it's, for those of you who are very sensitive, the baby is a 6-month-old baby and is dying of malnourished. I think they were able to take a couple of children out of the Gaza Strip to Jordan to see doctors. So there's an article right there.
Normalize stalling him, not see Norm until he deletes the app.
Also, right, and let him know too. He's saying that no one likes the terror state.
That's a 6-month-old. I would like to also add that's a 6-month-old.
Yeah, that's important. Israel is absolutely a terror state right now. So El Norma wants to know one child that we died of starvation. Look at the Instagram that Fedo just mentioned. I on Palestine.
And I just put the BBC article of the baby who's 6 months old that's dying of starvation, that they had to take out of the Gaza Strip and is heading to Jordan for treatment.
So unacceptable.
That's a 6-month-old baby, by the way. And if we all know what a 6-month-old healthy baby look like. They got rolls for days. It's very cute.
Start dropping them in the comments. Norm needs to see them, apparently. I'll do.
Oh, yeah, I put it there.
So when Israel wonders why their children look like that, if Iran hits, they will understand that it's probably has something to do with them not being able to have a decent governor, like a person who can't govern their own country through war. That's really not on us.
I think that any of these things will change Norm's mind. You guys have been on the app with Norm for 2 years. He has been consistent. He's been the most consistent person I've ever met.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, he's consistent. He's definitely on brand.
He's been the most consistent person. So I don't know if any of these things will happen. You know, who am I?
They condemn Russia for killing 14 people in Kyiv. This is too much.
Also, what's going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Tucker Carlson all saying that Fox News is, what is it, like that they're propaganda?
Because of the war.
It feels like it's 10 years too late.
Yeah, because they've always been. Even their own side sees it.
Yeah, I really hope that they wake up.
Sorry, I read somewhere that a lot of libertarians who voted for Trump are also against this war. You know, libertarians don't like war also. So.
I'm sorry.
A lot of them are being vocal.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but whoever was voting for Trump should have known, let's not explain, that Trump was going to fight Iran. It was so easily, what's all this pretense? Unless you're foolish, you don't know. Trump was going to fight Iran. There was no hard or fast rule. He didn't promise you that. Anyways, so I don't get this pretense. Oh, we didn't know. You didn't know what?
So I have a question. I know the Vietnam War was called an undeclared war because Congress didn't approve it. But isn't Congress like the coins, like the one that does the budget and the money, right? Doesn't the president have to go to Congress to say to go to war?
The Congress authorizes war. The president can declare war, and then the Congress authorizes it. So that's why you had all those bills that were signed when Trump is on his way back from G7. It's so dumb.
So remember, there's something they call the AUMF, Authorization to Use Military Force. Now that's an approval that was granted during the time of the Iraqi war, that people and presidents have, flouted and bent the rule to say we're going back to that approval of AUMF. Now, that's why if you notice today, a man called Thomas Massey, who's a Republican but leans towards being a libertarian, brought out Iran prohibition, war, something about said he's going to present it in Congress. Now, the problem is Trump, right? Trump, if they allow Trump bring out against on tariffs that he doesn't have the power to do, make laws on immigration that he doesn't bring out EOs that he doesn't have the power to do. Why are they crying about him making out EOs and giving authority to strike Iran when they refused to check him when he was being foolish? So you refuse to check Trump when he does the things you like because he's against the people you don't like. Now all of a sudden you're not claiming to be morally. No, again, like I said, anybody that voted for Trump, sit this one out. Anybody that voted for Trump, don't come and tell me, oh, you care about children. I love children. Oh, children are dying. Everybody knew Trump's position on Israel. Everybody knew that. There's no hard or fast rule. Everybody knew his position, but you decided that whatever you hate, whether it's gay or trans, immigrants, was way more important to you than thinking about children in Gaza. So I don't buy all this fake cry outrage. It doesn't interest me because you knew. Anyway.
I don't even. Sorry, I just want to insert. Wait, before you ask a question, I just want to insert real quick for the person who asked the question earlier. The loophole is, and what you're referring to in Vietnam, is that the commander-in-chief has the ability to deploy troops. So that's the loophole. So that means you would still need Congress to fund the war, but he could deploy troops. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So I just wanted, Odi, what you said was exactly what because when Trump got in, I told my dad, I was like, look, this guy's going to go to war with Iran. But my dad was like, they haven't seen any evidence that he likes war, that they think he doesn't like war. And I said, why did he have the Iranian general in his first time assassinated if he knows he didn't want to go to war with them? But that notwithstanding, if he now decides, I'm asking the question now to the room, if Trump now decides that the troops stationed there, if he sends an order to them that they should go on the attack, what now happens? Is it that I don't know how I'm framing the question, if it makes sense, because he is the commander in chief. He's the one that commands the military. If he tells them to do something at that point in time, Congress could have not given them the authorization to start war. What now happens? What's next?
Well, Congress controls money, right? Can Congress not fund the war?
That's a good question. This man's crazy.
Yeah, they can. That's what I'm saying. They can, but I mean, if he already commits the troops, he kind of puts them in a hard spot where they have to decide. Okay, are we gonna let them not have access to the funds that they need, or are we gonna force him to withdraw?
It happened already, like in Vietnam. So there's a precedent already.
Yeah, there is a precedent.
There's some bars in the chat. Aleph just said, a sanctuary of madness, leaders who weaponize trauma, Hamas's martyrdom, Iran's victimhood, and Israel's Holocaust memory. Bars.
Wait, I read something. Let me look for the article that Iran's, when it comes to their ballistic missiles, like they're overtaking Israel and the United States. Let me look for the article.
Yeah, Israel sent it. It's in its how do you say it? Find out period, I guess. Right now, they're saying another round of missiles launched towards Israel by the Islamic Republic 5 minutes ago.
You know, I don't know how to feel about that. At the end of the day, I think any lives lost is a horrible thing, especially when it comes to war. You know what I mean? But I don't know how. I'm kind of conflicted because as a person that believes in God, and a humanitarian, you're not supposed to be like, oh, they're getting what they deserve. Look what they did to the Gazans, to the Palestinians,
Yeah,
because that 2-year-old or that 3-year-old or that baby that's living inside Israel doesn't know what's happening, So I'm extremely conflicted. I am. I want to feel a certain way, but then I feel I'm wrong if I feel that way.
Well, I think it's important to remember that, like, not wanting death is probably the best. It's like the one thing that you can rely on as humans that we just don't want, right? And so it's not like, people should be happy that this is happening to Israel. I think it's the fact that it shows the duplicity and the ill intent when people want to come up on the stage and talk about, hey, like, we have a right to protect ourselves. Yeah, I guess you do. But if you spent 20 months, genociding and killing a group of people, and then you want some sort of help right now, you're going to have a hard time in the world looking for it.
Yeah, and I don't think I don't know if they care, or maybe they just in their little box in Israel. But I don't think they realize how the world views them. They're not the whole world views them as the enemy. Like, they views them as, like, how do you not care about babies dying and suffering, How are you, like, the way they're giving, especially with how they're giving out the food and stuff like that, it's on some Mad Max shit. What is going on?
Yeah.
Why do you think I said they make it so difficult for people to want to, like, even have sympathy for them?
I agree, Uncle.
You make it so difficult. Like,
people have sympathy in Nigeria. People have sympathy for Israel, irrespective.
Yeah, yes, I know. But the neutral people, like,
who are the neutrals?
I'm not talking Nigerians now. Let's say talk about people like who feel, well, I don't have a dog in the fight.
Okay.
But then keep hearing all these things every time.
My problem is that the majority of the Western countries support Israel. If they didn't support Israel, Israel will not be doing the nonsense they are doing. So again, it's like when you say the whole world is angry with them, I kind of get confused, right? So the whole world is not angry with them. The whole world is not angry with them. In fact, like I was telling someone yesterday, why isn't Saudi Arabia, why isn't Oman, I'm talking of the rich Arab countries, why aren't they putting their feet down and telling America, you need to stop this shit? Why?
Because they sold out. Because they sold out. They're Zionists. Because they're
Zionists. I don't care if they're Zionists or not. My problem is that, the whole world supports what Israel is doing. Again, America, unfortunately, or depending how you look at it, is the leader of the free world. Anything the president does is what most people support. Which is why the number one mistake was never to allow Trump win. But Trump won. So it's what it is. He won. Yeah. He's going to dictate the foreign policy of America.
Can I be candid? The number one mistake is that Biden should have said he wasn't going for a second term, so they could have had
nothing to do with Biden. Okay.
But no, you know what I mean. That Biden shouldn't have had said, "Listen, I'm not going to do a second term earlier." Okay, earlier, so they could have had a Democratic who's going to be the nominee. And it's not that I do not like Kamala, but it was just sprung on people, right?
Again, this has nothing to do with Kamala or Biden. The American people voted for Trump. It doesn't matter if Josh Shapiro was the...
I do like Josh Shapiro.
Americans wanted this. Americans wanted this. Again, like I always tell people, Americans wanted it, and we have to deal with the consequences of voting for somebody that you didn't vote for, but the majority of Americans wanted it. Now, they did a survey on Trump supporters. 74% of Trump voters support the war on Iran, if necessary.
It's disgusting.
So they don't care.
They're stupid. They're stupid. I'm sorry, they are.
Sheeple.
Sorry.
But this is what happens when you have like Mike Johnson, Odie. Like
authentic. Hold on, let's be real here. We have people in the Gaza movement, the pro-Palestinian people, who are shouting genocide Harris. The abandoned Harris movement. All people that refuse to vote for her, taking that Trump. You have Muslims going to say Trump is going to bring world peace.
Right.
And you want sympathy. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, my point was that, like, think about Mike Johnson, right? Like, Mike Johnson now has all these people, factions of, like, MAGA, loyalists or whatever, and some of the normal, like, Republicans. He doesn't know what the fuck to do. Like, people,
on this app, I was begging, kneeling down, crying, begging people during the midterms. Vote. They call me a democratic shield, a dumb Democrat. I'm being paid. What did they not call me? I'm good. Oh, we are democratic shields. I was begging. I said, listen,
you're allow paid for by George Soros. Yeah, I know. I got the same thing.
No, not just Soros. No, I'm a centrist. So don't use George Soros. They call me a shield, a Clyburn shield, and I was begging them, don't allow the Republicans to take power. Now, let me tell you what the Republicans did when they took power. They brought in Claudine Gay. This protest by students in Harvard, you can see what they did to it. And I was begging, but people are wiser, so I don't know. I'll just be watching them on the sidelines. That's my handwork now. Watching the sidelines, because you have prevented all this. Mike Johnson should never be speaker. He's dumb. He's a Christian nationalist. He has no charisma. He has nothing. Never done anything in his life. Doesn't even have a bank account. That's a speaker.
I'm a centrist too. I'm a moderate. I kept on saying, please vote. Don't vote for Trump. Don't. But a lot of people are regretting to this day that they vote for Trump. So, especially the Cubans in Florida.
Yeah, it's gonna be like to see how. Oh, I'm sorry that I spoke over someone.
No, sorry, Atlantic. Let me just quickly say this. In 2020, I went door to door, knocking doors for people to vote, not to vote for Trump. They did, but I saw the sign this time around, and I told myself, I said, man, look, all that door knocking is not comfortable for me. I don't like it. I don't know what's behind the door.
I'm not going to go this time around. I would only say it when I can say it. But if people decide that's what they want to do, fine. I said it back then. So 2024, I didn't go anywhere. I sat this one out. I said, let's watch. And they were there for Trump. So, well, look, I don't know if anybody wants popcorn. I can supply popcorn, man. I'm going to watch all this drama just sitting down here. And he wants Sprite too. I have Sprite. Just let me know.
Yeah, we got a guy who can't even do the tariff thing right and can't even govern Americans or even like make people feel not safe, just normal. You know, anyone who's trying to go into a Democratic city because they think that the governor's not running it and just with no one saying that they should, just going in and taking people, and I mean he thinks he's king. So let him play king. Especially his own people now are even being like, he's not talking to us. That's going to be interesting. Like Christino, Tulsi Gabbard, all of those people. Sorry about that.
I got to speak on that. What you just said, like, yeah, I've said this on this app. I don't know if I said in this room or I know I've said in other rooms. His whole MAGA support is about to implode inside because of him. And a lot of people getting pushback like, how? Give me an example. You can just look. They're going to turn their back on him because it's a bullshit. He's not going to do nothing that they ask. He's doing everything he wants to do. At the end of the day, everything that people have asked for that they vote for, he's not going to do none of it. He said no wars. Okay, that's going to a war. He says no more inflation. I don't really know if that didn't change or not. He said cheaper groceries. Definitely don't see that. And he said he'll lower gas prices. Definitely don't see that. All we see so far is everything that's going in and the opposite of what everybody wants. And like the people that voted for him, it's like, oh, Biden's going to make us go to war with Iran and blah, 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 no war. Yeah. Let's go to war with Iran. So it's like, they about to be fighting within. I think that anybody that's a liberal, Democrats, whatever, how they want to put themselves, I think that people just need to sit down and just watch the fireworks fly because it's about to go up for them on that side.
But what are they going to do? That's my whole thing is like, how are they going to go forward for the next? We have 3 more years of this guy. 3. You know, like it's not like this dude is like the fact that he, is even like was joking about a 3rd term, and now some people are warming up to the fact that like, oh damn, maybe he's fucking for real. Like, so what do we do when dude just wants a 3rd term and he's like, he's gonna call for some crazy ass move. I mean, he obviously wants a war with Iran, and he got into a fight with Pete Hegseth today, who's really, buddy up with him, and to get into a fight with Pete Hegseth over the military, it's crazy. The dude, you could just tell he's embarrassed about the way that people perceive him, and that's fair. You be embarrassed, but don't fucking go to war because you're embarrassed. And that's a wild thing. Like, I think for most Americans who are waking up and being like, oh, are we going to war today because the president feels bad, and then being listened to for 4 years of a woman can't be president because they'd be too emotional. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, for real. And I just, and this is just like me just thinking out the box and stuff like that. I do agree. I feel like, I don't know if the negotiating with Iran was being successful. I know not this Sunday that passed, but the prior Sunday that passed, they were in Camp David, right? The Trump administration, the whole cabinet, and Iranian officials were in Camp David. That Monday, he did a phone call with Bibi Netanyahu, who said, the Iranians, they're very stubborn, but I'm sure we could make a deal. I'm sure we'll make a deal. Now, they were supposed to have one last meeting. I don't know if it was going to be successful. It might have. I think Bibi just tried to, in my opinion, I feel that Bibi was trying to, he felt that it was going to be successful, so he wanted to hit Iran first and make it seem like, oh yeah, it's all Trump's, me and Trump planned this out, this, that, and the third. But and now Trump is in the back, like, yo, he doesn't want to feel humiliated that Bibi, who's also a narcissist, like stepped over his toes. So this is just my guess. I'm not like, what does everyone else think?
Well, my unanswered question is, why did Trump pull out of the first deal that everybody said was working? The Europeans said it was working. The American intelligence said it was working.
Because it had Obama's name on it, that's why. Uncle, I'm being honest. You know how he is.
Remember when he tore up Obama's, is that what you're talking about, the deal that he had with Iran?
Yep,
the actual,
yep.
the nuclear deal that actually would have prevented any of this stuff from happening? Meanwhile, you have people coming into the chat being like, well, we know that Iran, it's like, yo, your guy had it on lock. He had everything on lock. He took up a document and ripped it up because he didn't want to watch a former president succeed. And now that we're running into this issue, I don't want to. Bro, that's crazy.
And I also feel Bibi Netanyahu is taking. If you hear anything about Bibi Netanyahu, he knows he totally has an obsession with Iran. He's been talking about Iran making weapons of destruction, nuclear weapons since 1992. Ever since he's been in the Knesset, Oh yeah, they're maybe weeks or months away, maybe a year away since 1992. It's 2025. And then I think there was an interview, not with Fox 5 News, I think with ABC News, and he said, oh yeah, they're possibly again, really close to making nuclear weapons, maybe a week, maybe a year away again. You've been saying this since 1992, mister.
Yes, they think America's going to fall for it. And we actually might with this kind of leadership, which is the scariest part.
If we allow this leadership, yeah, the whole administration needs to go.
I don't think, at this point, I think it's because I don't think Trump wanted to go to war with Iran. I think he did want to negotiate. But Bibi Netanyahu stepped over him, and now he can't look like a fool. The president of the free world, right, on quotations, was maneuvered and forced to get into this war because of Bibi Netanyahu, because he felt a certain way, his ego.
They're saying the plan was that we would never negotiate peace treaties, that we were just luring them in until they had a false sense of security, and then we would attack them.
I don't believe that. I don't. I think Trump did want to make a deal, and Bibi got scared, and Bibi hit first. And now he's forcing the United States. This is just my opinion. He's forcing the United States to get into this war. And if the United States gets in a war, other countries are going to get into war.
Actually, I agree with you, Wednesday. I think that for all the shit that Trump's doing, I think he actually genuinely wanted to make a deal. But you can't do that through social media posts while you're at G7. Like, what did he think was going to happen?
Yeah, I agree. Bibi Netanyahu, he is a terrible, terrible tyrant. Terrible.
Bibi has always wanted a war with Iran. He was not happy. If you remember, he and Obama did not get along. A part of it was because of this dark deal Obama made with them. He's always wanted it. The long presidents have resisted it, but it looks like he's going to get what he wants right now. It's looking more, what's the word I'm looking for? Inevitable. It's going to happen sooner or later.
We just got to pray. For those who believe in God, pray on it. For those of you who are spiritual, I don't know, burn some sage. For those of you who are atheists, I don't know. Or your representative.
much. See you guys.
I wonder, Tucker Carlson said something about, Trump called Tucker Carlson a kook, I think. And now Trump's also saying that he can't trust his, like, Secretary of State or whoever Tulsi Gabbard is to.
Well, is he going to do that fire? Remember in his first term, how many people in his administration he fired?
The media.
It was like
the media is going to run with that. I mean, it's going to be the same thing as last time. He's going to go in and out of people. He's not going to have people to listen to, and he's going to be yes men to death.
And that's his whole plan. Interesting.
Right. Like when you look at like Project 2025 and you're like, oh, well, that's exactly what they wanted. They want yes people.
So you can walk into the G7 meeting saying you got bigger fish.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, because the way that they treated him was so, like, they were just like, oh, my God, this guy. Like, if that's the way that our world leaders feel about him, like,
right.
And I don't know if anyone saw the video, but it was hysterical if it wasn't so tragic, you know?
Well, anybody at any of these G7 meetings, UN meetings, the countries with the most money are the ones that are going to be speaking up the most, listened to the most. So that's not us on any front right now. And to, on top of that, have zero reputation or poor reputation or poor social credit, whatever, however you want to put it, it's unacceptable. And however your emotions are, your investments are with this president, it's time to set it aside.
Can someone bring
be objective?
No, sorry, Water. Can someone bring JH up? Because he's in Iran. He's been wanting to talk about, I guess, like what's happening from his perspective. Mods, are you, Patty and Lisa, are you guys there?
Who do you want to bring up?
JH was talking. The comment section is great. Lalong was just saying Trump will address the nation following a closed-door security at the National Security Council any minute. He's going to announce the war. And we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, he loves.
I was just going to say, I just saw this. I mean, I knew that there was a really bad attack on Ukraine from Russia yesterday. I just didn't know how bad it was. And interestingly enough, yesterday Trump was at G7, flattening, Putin for Putin and saying, it was a bad mistake that we kicked him out of the G7. He should be here. And he's very upset about it. He's very hurt. And then Putin turns around basically and gives him a middle finger and overnight strikes, bombards Ukraine with the biggest attack. With drones and weapons and ballistic hits that they have had so far this year, the biggest attack. So Russia is going around doing whatever the hell they want. Israel is going around doing whatever the hell they want.
Literally gave him a middle finger, like a real middle finger, or figuratively?
Figuratively. No. Like, yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, figuratively. But, he has no control over Putin. Putin turns around and, continues bombing and strikes and goes, escalates it even more.
Yeah, Russia owns Trump.
Israel.
Yeah. Right, Katrina? Russia owns Trump, not vice versa. Trump
I'm waiting for Water to say it's all the French.
Well, we're getting there. We're almost there.
Is Jay cheers again, or no? I don't know if he's here. I'm interested to hear, like, from an Iranian point of view. That would be interesting.
Later on, there'd probably be a room where there'd be Iranians in it. I'll tag you in if you want to come later on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What is up with that PTR, Authentic? Speaking of the French.
Oh, yeah, with Macron?
Yeah, is
no,
that
that's real. Did you see the video?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You guys need to watch the video. Macron and the girl, I don't know what her name is, the woman from Italy. She was eye-rolling. And you could just tell they were just making fun of him, man. And that's why he went home. Like, that's really, like, if the war is to be blamed, it has nothing to do with it has to do with everything with his self-esteem. And, like, the fact that people voted for this motherfucker and he's just in here. It's wild. It's wild.
Why would they trigger him, though?
But here's the thing, like, that's going to be us. We're going to have to be the people. The American citizens are going to have to be the people being like, "Yo, please don't hurt our man. He's sad." Let him pretend to be a dictator. And that's kind of what MAGA has been doing all along, right? We're like, "Oh no, we kind of know what his name is." Even though he doesn't really know, let him figure it out. And now we're at a place where it's like, oh, we really need someone to, like, be a leader. And people are like, right, you see all these reposts about Obama being like, damn, the good old days when Obama came into the White House press secretary, or the White House room, and the briefing room, and he's, like, blowing out a candle. And people want to talk shit on this app all day long about Obama and all this shit. I was never worried, ever, like this when Obama was in office. Ever.
No. I didn't like a lot of his foreign policies, but it wasn't. He was a good statesman. I can say that.
Yeah, I thought your PTR was Macron and Elon Musk's transgender daughter son. That's who.
No, that's from G7. No, Vivian. No, Vivian's having her own pride this month, I guess.
Oh, I want to know how she's being used. Oh, my bad.
No, Walter, go ahead.
That's all I wanted to add was I'm curious to know how Elon Musk's daughter is being used in all this.
I think she's just trying to live her life without being reminded every day that a billionaire's her dad. I think that's all.
You think so? You think it's that simple? Because it is very political. She just did an aid, or he just did an aid. She just did an aid.
An aid? What do you mean?
Like a war, like a Gaza aid thing.
Oh, like relief help or something?
A relief aid show.
Oh, yeah, like drag? She did like a drag show or something.
Exactly. But the fact that it was politically driven, it makes you wonder if she's receiving money from. Because
from who? Like AIPAC? Like what do you mean? I think that's like a stretch.
From somebody, I don't know.
Do you know who, or are you just like wondering out loud?
I'm just wondering out loud. I have no idea.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, I saw this yesterday, and I'm not sure if anybody discussed this. There's just so much going on all at once. But did you see that Putin and Turkish president, oh my God, what's his name again? I don't know why I went blank. But Turkish president and Putin met face to face, and they discussed the war of Iran and Israel, and their plans of helping reaching peace, which I thought was interesting. And then Trump posted, I didn't see this, apparently who posted this on Saturday. It's his tweet from Truth Social. He said, President Putin called this morning to very nicely wishing me a happy birthday, but then more importantly talked about Iran, a country he knows very well. We talked at length. Much less time was spent talking about Russia, Ukraine, but that will be the next week. He is doing the planned prisoner swap large numbers of prisoners are being exchanged immediately from both sides. The call lasted approximately 1 hour. He feels, as do I, this war in Iran, Israel-Iran, should end. To which I explained his war should also end.
From Breadcrumb Truth Social, Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and what a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Like, you know, and then in like another tweet, he was basically saying like, we could kill him, but we're not going to kill him now. Just out in the open like that. He's a child.
It's worse than a child. Children aren't this disrespectful.
He had a post where people thought he was having a stroke because it almost seemed cryptic. Like, he kept talking about when he left G7, let me go on Truth Social real quick. I actually have this, I downloaded this shit last night. Here's what he wrote. It's crazy. Okay. Oh, damn, he's dead right. Never mind, let me scroll down real quick. Sorry, y'all, I got a new cat. Okay. So this was 14 hours ago, right? This is when people were like, yo, what's up? What's going on with this, bro? He says, publicly seeking President Emmanuel Macron of France mistakenly said that I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to DC to work on a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I'm going back to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with the ceasefire. Much bigger than that. Well, whether purposefully or not, Emmanuel always gets it wrong. Stay tuned. So bro's feelings are hurt, and he's trying to do something, and we don't know what it is. I can't wait until the people who voted for this dude are coming into this room and they're getting deprogrammed.
Not gonna happen.
I think it
They're
might.
justifying it. No, we already had people who were, when Trump, they said, the reason why I voted for Trump is because he said he's going to stop all the wars and la, la, la. And all of a sudden yesterday, pretty much saying, yeah, we should, U.S. should go.
Yeah, but
like, we should start.
But Katrina, I have to say that there are a lot of other people in like the MAGA loyalist kind of community that are actually they're not ripping at Trump right now, but you're starting to see like an unraveling because of the way that Marjorie Taylor Greene's like backing Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson's like, I don't really know if this is going to work. And Trump's like, hey, he's a kook. Don't, anything that Tucker Carlson says, he can get a network. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, actually, like, what he's saying is, he's not like a crazy person. So they're kind of trying to grow a backbone.
Wait, we were talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson. I'm talking about people who believe him. I'm talking about the MAGA true hard believers, right? That's not gonna change anything for them. They're gonna flip flop and justify and totally back him no matter what.
But I think that
yes.
Something about the war, though, it shows some sort of hypocrisy, right? Like if El Normo were to come up here and be like, let's just pretend that he was like an American citizen, voted for Trump, all this stuff, right? And then he heard how dumb it would be if he were to be like, I wanted a no-war president. And then he gets that. And I understand the cognitive dissonance. Like, I understand when people can't admit it to themselves, like El Normo. But I also think that there's going to be people who are going to be like, oh, no, this isn't what we signed up for. Like, even though it's exactly what they signed up for, right?
I didn't know that Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke up regarding Tucker. That's the first I've learned that. And as far as I'm concerned, it's all hypocritical. This administration, everything's,
Yeah, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, even like Candace Owens, people being like, or even Joe Rogan today. Joe Rogan was like, he should be impeached. Joe Rogan said that today. Joe Rogan in the manosphere, the whole, red pill, whatever. Joe Rogan is saying he should be impeached.
Well, he did that on what basis? Why is he?
I would imagine because Trump doesn't know what he's trying to do with war.
I know, it's so scary. I mean, he doesn't know. I mean, he looks like he's aged. He's just. I mean, they didn't want him at the G7 conference, and he talks about Putin. All things.
Remember when Democrats were like, "Yeah, he's definitely like a little cuck for Putin." I don't really like that word, but I'll just kind of use it there. I hope people start like looking at this and being like, wait, why would the president leave G7? When he was there, he talks like he's pro Putin, and then he leaves before Zelensky comes, and also in order to sign a thing standing firmly against Putin. Like something has to wake these people up because we don't have a lot of time.
Well, if Putin has something on him, I mean, there's some serious angle here. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100,000%. And this app for how many years has just been like doing race baiting and is it good? Is ICE good? Is it ethical for due process? And I'm like, yo. Anyway. I think we're probably going to start seeing a lot of ourselves starting to separate who's pro-war and who's not. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Some people are going to show their colors and be like, well, we need it because Iran, or we need it because Israel, or Palestine, or we need it because whatever. And it's just
so scary. It's just so scary that we have someone that really he changes his mind every other minute. I mean, you never know which side he's going to wake up on. I mean, that's not someone that you want to lead, in a situation of this nature. I mean, because this could very much, become another World War III, which we certainly would not want. And we don't want to go to war. I mean, our economy is not looking too strong.
Yeah. Hamas stole money. They extort their own people.
Hold on, Bobby. Noam, do you want to have a dialogue with her?
Palestinians, Hamas is actually a government.
Because you've been off mic the whole time.
That?
Yeah, they voted
for it. For example,
I just want to clarify
the Palestinians to begin